A very good evening and a warm welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Mariam Vijayaratna. Let's have a look at the headlines first. Passenger ferry service between Nagapattinam, India to be resumed soon, officials note. Sri Lanka tourism witnessed a drop in momentum in April, official data shows. News in detail. The passenger ferry service between Nagapattinam in India and Kankasanture near Jaffna in the northern province of Sri Lanka, which was launched in October last year, will resume its services again within 7 days' time. The passenger ferry service between Nagapattinam in India and Kankasanture near Jaffna in the northern province of Sri Lanka was launched by the Shipping Corporation of India, but the services was halted due to several reasons. Officials from the Indian High Commission in Sri Lanka said that the ferry service will be operated by a private operator identified as In-Sri Ferry Services, selected by the Shipping Corporation of India in consultation with the government of Sri Lanka. In order to make the service affordable and attractive for passengers, the Government of India has decided to bear the cost towards applicable taxes and other relevant charges and operating costs at Nagapattinam port to the tune of over 25 million rupees per month for a period of 1 year. Similarly, the Government of Sri Lanka has reduced the deviation tax currently charged to passengers leaving Sri Lanka by passenger vessels and ships. It would also be recalled that the Government of India has also extended a grant assistance of 63.65 million US dollars to Government of Sri Lanka for the rehabilitation of the Kankasanture harbour, which was earlier envisaged to be undertaken under a line of credit. This is in keeping with India's strong commitment to Sri Lanka's economic recovery and its march towards progress and prosperity, along with an in close collaboration with India. High Commissioner of India Santosh Jha also voiced over the proposed solar facility in Sampur and said that he is fully confident over the commencement of work at the earliest. He made these observations during an official visit to the eastern province which took place last week. The Cabinet of Ministers at its one-off meetings in January last year approved the establishment of a 135 megawatt solar power project in Sampur, Trincomalee. They also promised that the solar power project will be completed in 2 phases under a joint venture between the Ceylon Electricity Board and the National Thermal Power Corporation of India. They also projected that in the first phase of the project, it is expected to implement a 50 megawatt solar power project with a total investment of 42.5 million US dollars within 2 years. They further added that the project would include the construction of a 40-kilometer long 220 kilowatt transmission line from Sampur to Kapalthurai at a cost of 23.6 million US dollars. The plan was to go for an additional solar power plant with a capacity of 85 megawatt in the second phase of the project at a total investment of 72 million US dollars. It has also been planned to construct a 76-kilometer long transmission line with a capacity of 220 kilowatts from Kapalthurai to New Habarana at an estimated cost of 42 million US dollars to distribute the electricity generated under phase 2 of the project. High Commissioner visited several facilities of Lanka Indian Oil Corporation in Trincomalee and recalled the unparalleled role which the company played in limiting adverse effects of the energy crisis in 2022 during these engagements. The High Commissioner also inaugurated a new LIOC fuel shed in Trincomalee. High Commissioner of India Santosh Jha undertook an official visit to Eastern Province and engaged in official talks with the officials in all 3 districts. He also took stock of several projects being implemented by Government of India for the people of the province and visited various sites of historical, cultural and commercial significance. In his interactions and engagements in Ampara, Batticaloa and Trincomalee, High Commissioner emphasized that the Eastern Province holds special significance in India-Sri Lanka bilateral partnership. He highlighted the multi-sectoral grant assistance package consisting of 33 different projects throughout the province in diverse areas, as well as ongoing discussions between the 2 governments to collaborate for the comprehensive development of Trincomalee. The High Commissioner also highlighted the various connectivity and energy projects being pursued between India and Sri Lanka, which will bring significant benefits to the eastern province. High Commissioner reviewed the progress in the construction of surgical unit in Teaching Hospital Batticaloa, which is being built through grant assistance by Government of India and is expected to be completed soon. He also visited the model village housing projects in Batticaloa and Trincomalee, which are part of a comprehensive project under which a total of 600 houses are being built across 25 districts of Sri Lanka by GOI for vulnerable and homeless families. During his visit, he also met and encouraged concerned stakeholders to actively work towards the expeditious completion of the 5,000 metric ton temperature controlled warehouse in Dambulla. The first of its kind facility in the country will help the farmers in the region to reduce their post-harvest losses considerably. Stay tuned, we'll be right back after this short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. Sri Lanka tourism witnessed a drop in momentum in April, with the number of international visitors falling below the 200,000 mark for the first time this year. The analysts who are monitoring the tourism industry say that the momentum was maintained for 4 straight months, but in April a contraction was witnessed. Tourist arrivals in April totaled 148,867, provincial data from the Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority showed. Although this is a 41% increase from the corresponding month of the previous year, it is a significant drop from the 209,181 tourist arrivals recorded in the month of March. Since December 2023, Sri Lanka has been successful in attracting over 200,000 tourists every month, which was also the first time the milestone was reached since the COVID pandemic outbreak. The momentum was maintained for 4 straight months, but in April a contraction was witnessed. The dip is not unusual given that April is also the start of dull period before a pickup in July. However, while a contraction was expected, tourism authorities last week attributed the steer drop to other factors as well. One such is the new visa system that came into effect from 17th April that has created quite a stir since it was rolled out, as it is more expensive and not as convenient as the electric travel authorization, or rather known as the ETS system, that was previously in place. Meanwhile, in the monthly tourist arrivals update, the SLTDA noted that the arrival number have been updated as per the new visa categories introduced by the Department of Immigration and Emigration. The update shows an increase in the arrival numbers. VFS Global, which has been caught in the center of controversy in the on-arrival visa issuance at the Bandar Naik International Airport, has raised serious concerns with the Public Security Ministry. Meanwhile, the VFS Global and GBS IVS have informed Minister Tiran Alas of why they have been left victimized and why the government has maintained a silence and not doing much to clear the company's image. Sources say that the government had handed over the contract of the on-arrival visa issuance to GBS IVS, which is a Singaporean-based company, and VFS Global, which is a multinational American company, was handling the technical part of the process. The BIA officials also revealed that last Wednesday night there was a severe backlog at the on-arrival visa counter at the BIA as the internet failed, raising the foreign staff to question if there was an act of sabotage to purposely disrupt the service. A highly placed source said that the foreign companies involved had raised these concerns with the Public Security Ministry, and the government will soon commence a probe. Before GBS IVS took over the on-arrival visa issuance at the BIA, The counter was handled by the Department of Immigration and Immigration. As GBS, IVS and VFS Global were delayed in getting the platform back up, the on-arrival visa counter was handed back to the Department of Immigration and Immigration, which then continued a smooth operation once again. In December, the Public Security Ministry, led by Tyrone Ellis, signed the agreement with GBS IVS and VFS Global to handle the on-arrival visa counter at the BIA. VFS Global came in to only handle the technical part of the process, and the government approved the foreign company to charge an additional $25 for the service in addition to the $75 which was already being charged, bringing the total to $100 to be charged per passport. According to the breakdown given by the Sri Lankan officials, the $25 being charged included VFS Global paying the staff salaries, the rent, as well as money allocated for data protection and to carry out a tourism promotion campaign for Sri Lanka tourism in the countries VFS Global operates. That was surprisingly not conveyed to the public by the government. Sri Lanka participates and represents the Hannover Messe, which is considered to be world's leading industrial trade fair for the first time in its history. This year's edition of Hannover Messe was held at the end of last month and had been attended by more than 130,000 visitors from 150 countries, 4,000 exhibiting companies, 300 startups and over 300 economic and political delegations from all over the world. Sri Lanka's representation at the Hannover Messe focused on creating awareness in Germany about investing in Sri Lanka, exploring opportunities for Sri Lankan businesses, and strengthening economic relations with Germany. The Hannover Messe is an important venue for businesses from across the world to learn about important innovations that drive industrial competitiveness and sustainability. It is also a venue for businesses to find partners for collaborative ventures and for countries to showcase their investment and technological potential. The focus of this year's trade fair was on how businesses can take advantage of developments such as artificial intelligence, hydrogen, and many other high-tech solutions. The State Minister of Investment Promotion, Dilum Amunugama, highlighted opportunities for investment in Sri Lanka, including in the Port City project, and extended an invitation for interested parties to visit Sri Lanka to witness first-hand and potential for investment and business collaborations. The State Minister said that Sri Lanka has much to gain from strengthening trade and investment linkages with Germany. At Hannover Messe, the Sri Lankan delegation also met with representatives of German Trade and Investment, the International Economic Promotion Agency of Germany, the Investment Promotion Agency of Baden-Württemberg Province, home of many leading industries. Stay tuned, we'll be right back with the stock updates. Welcome back after the break. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The all share price index dropped by 28.07 to close at 12,376.26, and the S&P SL 20 dropped by 23.91 to close at 3,648.14. The turnover was 2.1 billion rupees and over 137 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. That's all we have for tonight. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care. Good night.